Hello, 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 and welcome to the Everyday Riches Show. I'm one of your hosts, Barbara Ellison. I'm a transformational life trainer, and I am on a mission to make happiness the norm rather than the exception, because I truly believe that each and every one of us deserves to lead a happy, healthy, financially free, abundant life. And in order to do that, we need to have three elements of mental fitness and physical fitness and to have financial fitness. And so I'm all about helping you to make the rest of your life the best of your life. And here's my co-host, Jason. How are you this morning?
I
Tell
I
us
am
about you.
fantastic. I am fantastic. If you could see my name, I'm giving you all my alter ego today, JT Money. So bringing that to the show. Uh, you know, End of the day, I'm an empowerer, and I love seeing people being able to not just get a lesson, but to be able to move forward and find the joy and the riches within our everyday. So that's why we do the show. That's why we go out and Barbara goes out and finds phenomenal, amazing guests that add so much value and they're able to share their stories. And guess what? Success leaves clues. And so that's the everyday riches that get dropped in our episodes. And I'm so excited. Again, every episode for me is like Christmas and opening a new present because Barbara always goes and gets guests that I've never met before, and then I get to go on the journey along with our audience. So, Catherine, Catherine Ann Clayton, welcome to our show.
Hello, how are y'all? Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Excited
So,
to have you on.
So, I just wanted to come in here and talk a little bit about what I do. I am a founder and CEO of Bold Biz Solutions, and my journey is quite interesting. Going way back, I was a teacher out of college for 21 years, and then I left and jumped into the corporate world. And I realized after 8 years, I was at the top of my game in the corporate world. I was the number one salesperson at the company, and I realized that something was still missing. That it didn't matter how much money I had. The money gave me the opportunities to do the things I wanted to do, but I didn't have the time to do what I wanted to do. I was spending a ton of time, 80, 90 hours a week working. And one day I realized my 11-year-old, I looked down at her and I was trying to help her with something. And I said, "Hey, Emma Catherine, let mommy help you with that." And she looked up at me with these big brown eyes and said, "Mommy, you've got to work. You're too grumpy. Daddy will help me."
Oh,
Well, let me
oh,
tell you, when your child says that, and when you sit back and you think about that, all you wanted to do in this life was to have the freedom to have children and raise children, I realized that I wasn't raising my children, that the daycare was raising my children, that school was raising my children. And I believe, in a higher power, and I believe that God works in mysterious ways. And a lot of things started happening at work, and they were going to cut my salary because my boss said, "You're making more money than me and I can't have that." And so a lot of things started falling down, and I looked at my husband and I said, "Can I walk away?" And he was like, "Oh, we make really good money." And I was like, "But, we talked about the kids and what they were saying." And I said, "As much as I know that babies need you, I really think that the kids growing up as teenagers need me to be here." And so a month later, I gave my notice. I walked away, and that was 7 years ago on May 15th. I have not looked back. Now I jumped into this world of being a mom, but really wanting, because, I'm A strong and I'm really high energy, and I knew I wanted to make my own money. And so I started, dabbling in this and dabbling in that, and not really knowing what a vision was or what a mission was until I went through a transformational leadership course. And it really changed my life. And I really found out what my mission is. I'm a business and leadership coach. And I really found out that, my mission in life is to help just the everyday person create wealth. because, abundance is out there, and you get to create it, and you get to manifest it, and you get to claim what is yours. And not to go on the preaching thing, but God talks about money 2,000 times in the Bible,
Yeah.
and how everybody is supposed to be abundant. And so I went on this journey, and I found this company that had the same goals as I did. And I didn't, I'm going to be really honest, I didn't know about their goals. A friend jumped in, so I followed my friend in. And then when I heard the CEO talk, and she said the exact same thing that I did, I said, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And so since then, I'll help my friends and I'll coach my friends. But 2 weeks ago, I let my last client go, a coaching client. And I am going full all in on this platform that I'm doing. And I am helping people, do a small investment and create wealth with it. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm creating freedom for people. I'm creating, freedom from debt, freedom to leave and go on a vacation if you want to, freedom to do the things that you want to do and not be stuck at home. If, some people want to be stuck at home, some people want to be stuck in the job, but whatever you want to do and whatever your vision is, I can help you get there financially.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
ahead,
no,
Barbara.
I was just gonna say, what do you find is one of the biggest stumbling blocks that the everyday person runs into when they are introduced to a new platform, or what limiting beliefs do you find that you have to overcome to get them, or are they at a certain point where they're just going to do it, no matter what?
No. Fear is the biggest thing that holds people
Okay.
back.
That's,
And don't allow, I always tell the people, don't allow fear to hold you back from what could be the winning moment and the greatness in the winning. Don't be so scared to hold back because you're afraid. They're afraid to, jump in to the market because their 401ks are dropping or their stocks are dropping. They're afraid, I don't know if I can say this, but it's in the crypto and Forex world. And they're afraid of that because it's new. It's not regulated. What are the rules? What are this? And people are just fearful. So I always say when people are investing is, don't invest something, and this goes for everything, coaching, whatever. Don't invest money that you're not, that you're not okay if you lose it. Because, and I'm sure that both of you, we've all invested in at least one coach that we paid 20, 30,000, 50,000 in, and we didn't get what we thought we were going to get. We thought we were paying for the guru, and we got just one of their, people, and so we've all lost money that way.
Right.
And so don't be afraid to take a jump and jump off into that, space where, that a net's going to come out and save you. I always talk about the cliff being there, and would you jump off the cliff if you knew that a net was going to be there, but you can't see it? You don't know if it's going to pop out when you first jump or if it's going to be right before you hit the ground. And so when you get to a point that you can not let the fear take over, and again, Barbara, that's mindset.
Right.
Not let the fear take over and just say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be in for 90 days, for, 6 months, whatever it is. Then, I always tell people, I've got you, and I'm going to help you learn how to do this. Because, it is what I'm teaching people to do. It's easy, it's effortless, and, it can create wealth endlessly.
So how were you exposed to this again? What kind of connections brought you into this structure?
One of my good friends had introduced it to me, and she had introduced it to me, and I was like, nah, I'm not getting in anything else. I'm kind of done with investing. I'm kind of done with that. And she didn't give up on me. She didn't pressure me, but she would keep saying, oh, we made this month. And then the next month it was like, we made this. And then when she said that she made $900 in 1 week passively, I was like, okay, I'm in. And then again, the fear that I had of not sharing it, because you don't want to be embarrassed, or what if it's a scam, or what if it's a Ponzi scheme, or what if it's this, or what if it's that. You get all these stories that your mind tells you. Our mind is a great, beautiful thing. It can create any story that it wants to create. And if you're looking for evidence for something not to work, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to find it.
Right.
But in the same sense that is, if you're looking for evidence that it is going to work, you're going to find a lot of people that do it. So I watched her. I jumped in when they hit 900 a week. And then after 3 months, I was like, this is too good not to share. And I started sharing with friends and acquaintances and people that I knew. And, I've been in for now a year, and the end of September will be 2 months. So, it's working. I'm helping people. I've changed a lot of people that I've come to. I knew that it was a risk for them to, just invest a tiny bit of money. I mean, I'm not talking thousands of dollars. I'm talking a little bit of money, and they were scared and they were fearful, but now they're seeing, that their labor and their fruits are starting to multiply. It has a little bit to do with, the act of compounding your money. And, if you learn, Albert Einstein says that, a person that knows about compounding money will always be rich. And the person that doesn't know it is going to lose. So, because, they compound money everywhere. Credit cards is compounded interest. If you look at your last statement, and you look at what you paid into the credit card, and, if you paid the minimum payment and then what the interest rate was, you paid like $20 on your credit card, but you really paid $250 out of your pocket. So it's crazy. So
is there a minimum that people can invest?
There is a minimum. There is a minimum that the company says. And then there's a minimum that I suggest. So yes, can I say that minimum, or?
Sure.
Yeah, the minimum to invest is $100.
Oh, right. So that's totally doable for most people.
Totally doable. However, the company does charge for the platform $25. So I suggest that you come in with 500. And the reason that I say 500 is then you're a little bit invested. You've jumped through that fear loophole. However, if somebody loses $500, you're not going to lose your house. You're not going to lose your car or anything. And so I really, on my team, 99.9% of the time, I will only accept them if they come in at 500. Now, if they say, I've only got 100 today, but in 2 weeks I've got this, then we'll talk about it. It's always, but 500 is really the threshold. I'm going to be honest, I started with 700, and because I was scared, again, that fear. I wish now, looking back, hindsight's always 2020. I wish I started with 1,000 or 5,000. And so it's paid over 10 times. I mean, it's crazy. It took our whole family, airfare and all, to a really exclusive, all-inclusive resort in Jamaica. My husband, we worked together, and he's not here today, but he's right beside me. And he turned around and he goes, why don't you pay for our trip? And I was like, what? I don't have any money. And he was like, oh, remember this? And I was like, oh yeah. And so, I paid for our trip. It has helped me, pay off some debt. My daughter moved to college this summer. It helped me get her in the dorm, and, all of those. I don't know if y'all have moved your kids into college, but, they always need this, or you forgot this, or you forgot that, next thing I know, it's $500-600 at Home Goods, and we're buying more stuff. So it has allowed me to do that, as well as allowed other people to create whatever they want to create. And what I do love about it is that if you want your money out, you can get it out anytime. And that, you know, with that, now the first 90 days, there is a 15% penalty. But after 90 days, if you made, let's say that you made $300 for that week and you needed that $300 to pay your car payment, you can get that money in 48 hours. It's crazy. So you don't have to jump through hoops to get it out. In fact, I just took out some money on Saturday. So it's, you know, it's really, it's awesome to see people's faces and how they light up when they're realizing that they're making money instead of losing money.
So like, tell me, like, because I'm curious. I'm so curious. Like, you know, it sounds like I just put money in and then it just kind of grows. And I'm like, so obviously when you're investing there, like you said, there's a risk for loss. Like how does that all work out? Because you're obviously not making money every day, or are you?
Well, here's what I can say. The company has been in business for, we're starting our 4th year. They have never, now, and people are going to look at this and go, oh, this is a scam. They have never not made a profit on the week. Now, I've been in it for what, you know, a year and 2 months. I've made profit every time. Now, that's not to say that the profit doesn't go down. That's not to say that in May, when everything crashed in the crypto market, remember all that, and everybody was saying it's a scam and all this stuff was going out. It's not to say that, you know, I made 0.65 that week on my trading balance. However, I still made money. And so, you know, and so some weeks it's high and some weeks it's low. But what I really like about it is that it truly is passive. The only thing that I have to do is on Friday and Saturday is to compound my money. And by that, I take what I made and I add it to my trading balance, or I take it out. Just sitting there is a waste. So decide if you're going to compound it, which is adding it back in. And then it's like, let's say that you make, let's say your balance is 1,000. I'm going to talk easy numbers, 1,000, and we made 3%. So the first week you made $30. Would you all agree that that's correct? I mean, I might need to get my calculator out on that. but then I decided to compound it and put it back in. And so the next week I would make money on $1,030 instead of the 1,000. And so it just grows and keeps rolling up. So obviously, the more money that you have in your trading balance, the more money you make each week.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty, I vetted the companies very, very strongly, and I did a lot of research, and I have a lot of what I call analyzers on my team. One was one of my coaches, and he like analyzed it, looked at all the details, and he was like, okay, I'm in. You know, and he was shocked. I was shocked that he came in because he's such an analyzer. But he was like, you know, I can just tell that they know what they're doing. And it's been an awesome ride for, you know, myself. My daughter, which is an interesting story, she turned 18 in February. And so for one of her presents, you know, she was like, it's a big year. It's 18. You know, she did all the manipulations that kids do. And she was like, I would like you to fund, you know, my account, and I would like some sneakers. I was like, okay. So, you know, she's not doing the business side of it at all. She's not, you know, she just compounds every Friday. And she, you know, she's making money. She even, you know, it's affiliate marketing. So you're going to rank up and stuff. She even made the first rank by not even bringing anybody in. And she created an extra $100 in her account. So it was really pretty awesome.
Now, how'd she do that without bringing anybody in?
Just because of the way that the structure is set up, that she got a bunch of spillover people and it helped her rank up. So it's a whole convoluted thing. Not really convoluted, but it's a whole thing that has to be explained.
Yeah.
But you know, but with $500, you can really change your life if that's what you want to do. And then if you want to share it, and build a team, great. I'll help you. If you don't, great. I have several people that are like, just leave me alone. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, okay. And I don't bother them. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Now, you know, at the beginning, you told the story of, you know, of your daughter and everything. How much of that piece ties into this and like your fuel to help other people learn this process?
Well, you know, it really has fueled me a lot for both of my children because, you know, I was born and I don't mean this, I mean this very humbly, but I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth.
Mhm.
And my husband was definitely not. And we came from two worlds that collided together and it just works. But my parents never taught me about money. They, you know, we got an allowance and I never did without. I look back now, you know, as a 56-year-old woman going, gosh, I was such a brat. You know, I remember in college me complaining that they didn't give me enough money. But yet my college was paid for, my books were paid for, my gas was paid for, my car was, you know, and I think to myself now, if I had only taken half of the money they gave me and put it somewhere, I would have been a millionaire before 30. And so with that being said, and you know, my parents were great and I love them and all that stuff. I wanted to do things a little differently and I wanted to teach both my children about money. I wanted to teach them how to spend it, what to do, you know, and I even told my daughter the other day as I was looking over her bank account from college and I said, you know, I want you to analyze your bank account. Of course, I had already done it. And I said, you know, this tells you what you value by looking at your bank account and what you're spending money on. And she was like, oh my gosh, I value Chick-fil-A. And I was like, yes, you do. So how can we change this? And so again, she started with 500 and I have this little spreadsheet that one of my team members created. And according to the spreadsheet, she, you know, now it may go up. She will be a millionaire, you know, everything good and stays good in the next 10 years. She will be a millionaire December 25th of 2026. She graduates 2026 of college.
Wow.
So, you know, that next December, I said, what a great present. And she goes, well, how can I bump up the date? And I'm like, well, you get to decide if you want to start adding a little bit more to it. Or if you want to share it with your friends, whatever you want to do. But dad and I are done. You know, now my mom and dad would have given me more money. I'm like, dad and I are done. We've given you the tools. Now you get to take, you know, what you get to take your allowance that you do get for college. And if you choose to take half of it and put it in or $100 or whatever it is, you can do that. So,
I think it gives them just a really a sense of responsibility that they are in charge of their next 30, 50, you know, 100 years. Like from my aspect of being in the health and wellness space, they're saying that by the year 2035, because of all the innovations of formulations and the science and the discoveries that have been made in the wellness space, that they're going to double the age expectancy. And right now the age expectancy is 72. So now by 35, you know, 2035, that's what, 13 years from now? They're saying it's going to hit like 140. So what are we going to be doing, you know, financially to support that?
Yeah,
absolutely. Because I mean, let's be real. I mean, even though we all think that $1 million is so much money, you can go through $1 million like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, real quick.
Yeah,
really quickly.
And again, from my so many people have spent their life building up their nest egg, and now that they're retiring, they're spending their nest egg to get back to being healthy that they had back in their 20s and 30s.
Right.
What's wrong with this picture? So, but on that note, let's take a quick little break. And Jason is going to tell you what we are excited about.
Yeah, it's so exciting. So for our listeners, that Barbara and I were part of a collaborative group that released a book. This book released, what is it, a month and a half ago now, and actually surprised us and became a bestseller.
And we were on the bestseller for a week.
Bestseller list for starting a new business and entrepreneurship. So super awesome. But as I was reading through the book this week and reading the individual chapters, the book on the outside says the collective wisdom of 300 years of business. And if you're thinking about starting a business, if you've started a business, you're in the process of starting a business, this is definitely a book you want to pick up. As I'm reading through and learning, I'm learning stuff from people that I know very, very closely, that I was in a collaborative group with for several months. We met up every week and I'm learning stuff from them. And it's like, and those aha moments, those things that I struggled with, that I'm like, man, I wish I had this book when I was starting. So just that quick little plug. You can pick up the book. We'll put the link in our info page where you can pick it up on Amazon. So quick plug, if you're picking up a book or if you're thinking about entrepreneurship, go pick it up.
And also, entrepreneurship, having financial wealth is part of entrepreneurship. Because if we're not going, then how can we possibly prepare ourselves and to be entrepreneurs? And we have to have, I truly believe that there are so many ways to earn income. However, one of the definitions of being an entrepreneur is someone who is willing to take a risk. So,
and then we have on Catherine and having a conversation
here we are
about risk, but how it compounds.
How it compounds. So, and sometimes for me, right at this moment, I'm just like, oh, I can't just start. Right. So let's get over some of the stigmas. So, and I think we really do need to talk about that. Is a little bit of the elephant in the room, just because so many people are only talking about the negative parts of, that, oh, this is not going to be secured. And, so we mentioned those in the first half, but I really think that we could address this a little bit more, of just allaying people's fears of what is involved, how do they start, and just a little bit more detail. So of just getting going.
Yeah, with me or just in life general?
Yeah, and with you and in general, of because so many, so many people are saying, oh, how can you? Well, because I am in the crypto market and thinking now of changing over here. Let's be honest. But when I first, it was like, don't do that. You're going to lose all your money. Don't do that. And just all giving me the horror stories. But you know what? Look at what's going on right now with people's 401ks.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
So
talk about losing money, and the only ones who are making money are the managers. And wasn't it you, Jason, that told me that being a money manager, they have hardly any training?
No, that wasn't me.
No, well, okay. Maybe it was Mitch. They have hardly any training. And yet companies are hiring accountants. Yeah, yes, they're accountants and stuff, but they're hiring people to manage other people's monies. Yeah. But they themselves are not making any money.
Well, and I've got something that is, I'm looking over here to read it. Yeah. For quotes. USA Today said, about talking about crypto and the Forex space. USA Today said an inevitable technology development. Forbes says crypto's inevitable financial takeover. Barron said the shift to digital currency is inevitable. And then the New York Times said the rise of crypto feels inevitable. And these are great sources, that are out there that are talking about that crypto is about to take over the world.
Right.
So,
let me ask you, are you tied to a specific crypto, or is it crypto in general? Or is it to a specific cryptocurrency that's part of the company that You know what
Well,
I mean?
no,
What I'm
this
asking?
company they trade in crypto, so any kind of crypto.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I love about it. I let the traders worry about all that stuff. I don't want to have to worry about it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
want to
I'm
have to
wondering
watch
because
a
like,
chart all day.
yeah, yeah.
And so they trade in, they do four things. They trade in crypto, they trade in foreign exchange. And do y'all understand what that is?
Mhm.
That is
No.
like trading, foreign
Money
money
for money.
you know.
Mhm.
They do mining, crypto mining. And then one section of the company has ATM machines, crypto
Hmm.
ATM machines all
Okay.
around the world. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
tell people it's like Chase when you go to Chase to get your $20 out. And
Yep.
they say, I notice now mine is $3.50 instead of $3. All that money goes back into the company. So, and then as affiliates, we make 70% of that, which is the percent we get each week. And then the
Gotcha.
traders get 20, and then 10% goes back into the company.
That makes so much more sense. I'm like, how are you making money? How is it just like coming? But
Yeah,
when all those pieces tie together, you're mining, you're like
Right.
you're running the whole show essentially, or the
right.
traders are. Because then the other piece I think that's like that was hard. I'm like, okay, you sound like you're making money, but how? Because I'm the biggest thing about crypto that's like kind of paralyzing is there's so many options.
Mhm.
Where do I know if I'm gonna do well? And then you look at like Bitcoin, it's like so high priced. Like, yeah, you want to get into Bitcoin, but then it's so much more expensive than this one down here. So like have when you explaining that, I think it's a game changer of understanding that you have the experts back there, and there's
Right,
so many pieces to
absolutely.
the puzzle that's creating that money, that compound money.
Well,
Right.
and again, I didn't want to do it. I wanted something that, and it's funny how, if you talk about manifesting, I had said 2 years ago when I had lost 10,000 in the Forex market trying to do it myself, I was paying 179 for the platform a month. And then I lost $10,000. And then I had somebody that I hired to do it for me, and he lost $1,000 and then he disappeared. So I didn't know where he went. And I said at that moment, if I could just find somebody that would do this for me. And lo and behold, I didn't know, I put that out to the universe and it came true 2 years later. And so, that, and of course, you don't, when you're in the manifesting world, you don't realize that you really manifested it until after you're like, oh my gosh, remember what I said.
Mhm.
So it was very interesting. And it's very passive. I spend a lot more because I'm building a team. But if you're just say you want to come in and invest and put your 500 in, you'll spend maybe 5 minutes a week
Hmm.
because it's so simple. And it
Right.
almost sounds too good to be true, but it is not. And again, I've had that bad week of, 1.28, 0.65, but then I've had that great week of, 4.65 that I've made. So it's never always the same. And I always tell people, if somebody's going to promise you a return that is exactly the same, stay away from it. Because
Right.
nobody
Yeah.
can promise you that you're going to every single month, and then you look at the banks and you go online and they get so excited that they're
Yeah.
going to give you, 1.2% a year.
Cent.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
That's what I was just going to say. And the banks, I mean, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah,
30 cents interest for a year.
right. Yeah. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
Really,
So
when you
another
think,
question I had as you're talking about your daughter and how like through the tool she's projected by the time she's 26, that December 25th, 2026, that she'll be a millionaire. How much is she putting in monthly to hit that projection?
Right now she is last week she made $42 for the week. So it just grows. So she's
Yeah.
not making a lot of
So
money.
she started at the 500.
She started
She
with
just
the
put
500 has not added anything else.
Wow. So she put in $500 and that's just going to grow. And the projections say that by
Yes.
without putting any other money in.
Without putting any other money in. And I also have a little formula that I teach people that if you've got that fear, that real fear, And that if you put $500 in, and after 6 months, you at 3%, you take out your $500. So now you're trading with 578. By year 2, you will have 10x your money.
Plus
And-
take it out the original 500.
Plus you took out your original 500. Now what happens is people say they're going to do that, and then they realize that they're making money and they don't want to take it out. So I personally have taken out my 700 that I put in. I've also I've taken out way more than what I put in. I've gotten, the 500 back that we gave for Emma Catherine. And so, I've taken out again, I took out
Vacation and
vacation and things like that. So I've taken out, actually I've taken out a little bit more than $24,000.
Now, did you start? I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied. You have me going crazy here. My mind is spinning, Catherine.
don't you love it?
Are you able to put more money in whenever you want? And is that what you've done, or have you stayed?
I have not put anything more in. I've just added the money that I've made and raised my thing, and then raised my balance.
Yeah.
And then I have taken out over 24,000.
Okay.
I just added it up the other week because I had to get it ready for taxes. So, and then I have a pretty good trading balance. My trading balance is over 26,000.
Wow.
So, and that's in a year.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
My mind is turning.
like, what the heck?
I know.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I will tell you that. It is amazing.
Can you see,
I mean, the whole
Jason, why I
compound
wanted to
effect
have
makes sense to me.
Catherine Ann on?
The Compound Effect is one of my favorite books by Darren Hardy. So that the compound piece made sense. I was just trying to figure out, like, how do you not lose money? Is it tied to certain cryptocurrencies? Like, when you explain that whole piece, it's like, oh, and it just honestly, it makes sense. This affiliate marketing, network marketing, it's around for a reason. It is able to bring, like, health and wellness products
Health and wellness.
wouldn't be able to compete in a space with the big companies, and creates a loyal fan base, right? And
Right.
so you look at EXP Realty. They came along a few years ago and created a real estate company around an affiliate marketing model. And so it's the same exact thing. And so what they were out grabbing and doing is, like, real estate agents. There's high performing real estate agents that are part of brokerages that are never going to get a piece of the ownership, that are just there, selling. And so they offered a platform for them where they can go out and get other real estate agents, and they build under them. And just like this whole thing, it's the whole affiliate marketing. And EXP Realty, if you see it, if you've heard of it,
I've heard it.
it's
Yeah.
blowing
I've heard
up.
of it.
It's blowing up because they bring the technology, they bring the affiliate market piece. And so it just makes sense. And I know there's a whole thing and a stigma around affiliate marketing, network marketing, that kind of thing. But it's around for a reason, because it's impactful, because it creates communities, right? So
yeah,
super
that's
awesome.
like what with one of me, I've had people say to me, well, why are you in network marketing? I said, because they are paying me to get well.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're paying Catherine Ann to get wealthy. It's like, this is absolutely the best ever way to do business.
Well, to your point,
because the companies are paying us to market their products, instead of paying Nike or paying Fox News or paying these, to have a billboard on the Super Bowl.
Right.
So they're paying us to be the walking billboards. And that's where people say to me, Barb, what are you doing? How come you look younger now than you did last year? And, Jason has said repeatedly that he's looked back on some of our older episodes and went, gee, Barb, you look better now than you did then. Well, they're paying me to reverse age.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Right.
It's been a blessing, and to feel better. So
absolutely.
yeah. Wow.
And, you
Well,
know,
and
to be honest, I don't know how we, you know, we weren't savers. I don't know how we would have sent our kids to college if we didn't have this. And, you know, I've got one now that's telling me he wants to go to New York University. And I'm like, I'm like, you know, and then you smile and say, wherever you want to go, dear, wherever you can get in. But
throw another $500
inside, you're
in
like
there.
going $75,000 a year.
Yes.
And that's before you have a house or an apartment. So, you know, it's, you know, it's getting expensive out there.
Oh yeah, college. I mean, you can go to college and be almost $500,000, you know, 250 grand to 500 grand in debt
Yep.
before you even start your career.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's just astounding. The ones that are coming out with so much debt that they are paying it into their 50s.
Right. I think it's tragic.
It's tragic. And for me, they're losing their health. They're losing their health. There's no chance of being wealthy. And now they're facing retirement.
Right.
But you look at it, and again, and there's a huge apprehension around money and
Right.
around losing
Exactly.
money. But to Catherine's point, it's $500, and yeah, you could
Yes.
do more, right? You could do more, but you think about $500, putting in $500 initially, and being able to watch it grow into where you've been able to withdraw 24,000 and have a trading balance of 26. You know, like,
Yeah.
to start that with $500, like, even if you would have lost $500, we lose $500 monthly in like coffee and Netflix subscriptions, and you know,
Yeah.
like, just the things that, like, $500 goes through the crack.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I find it interesting that, you know, that, and I tell people this all the time, that they, you know, somebody will go in and jump into a 401k or have stocks that are managed by a person. They don't know what they're investing in. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They just know that every quarter they get a piece of paper that says you either gained or you lost. And what I've noticed lately is they always say you gain, even though you really didn't, with that little circle chart. And you don't know what they're investing in. You don't know what they're doing.
Right.
You just, because of the way that America was built, we just automatically trust these people. And we automatically say, okay, we'll take my money and do this.
Yep.
But you won't trust yourself with going, okay, I'm going to take $500 and I'm going to trust myself because I've talked to this lady that has shown me what she's created and told stories about other people, that I'm going to trust myself and give up that $500. And again, you know, if you're really scared about $500 in 6 months, take it out.
Yeah.
Then you're reinvesting because you would have made, I think it's, if I'm correct, I think it's 1078 at 3%. And so you take out your 500. So now you're investing again, starting basically over at 578.
Okay.
Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, and just people don't trust themselves because of the fear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what is your gut saying? If your gut's
Right.
saying no, well, then don't do it. If your gut's saying, okay, I need to just try this, then go for it. I mean, what would you have done as a little child? You would have gone for it. You would have taken that 10 cents and bought that lemonade and not knowing if the lemonade was good, sweet, sour, or horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But you were so excited to get the lemonade for 10 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think one of the things too is that so many people, I mean, the school, I don't want to get started on the school system. It's one of my pet peeves, but they don't teach entrepreneurship.
No,
they don't
they don't.
teach
They
business.
don't teach finances.
I mean, they barely teach finances.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, they teach
don't
how
at
to,
all. Yeah.
they don't. They teach how to, you know, balance a checkbook. I think when I was growing up, I think that was the only thing I ever learned from my parents. We didn't talk about money.
Right.
You didn't talk about money.
Uh-huh.
You didn't talk about making money. And nice girl, and I was one of 4 girls, and nice girls definitely did not talk about making money or going into business, because nice girls are wives and mothers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was brought up in a very Victorian, very, just, structured family life. And, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I'm thankful for it. I never ever made a lunch for myself. It just my mom would get up every day and make all of our lunches.
Yeah.
And, we never worried about having clothes on our backs. But we didn't talk about those things. If they just appeared. Food appeared on the table.
hmm
We didn't talk about how the money was made. We knew my dad went to work.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's such a different lifestyle. And now you get some of these kids that are 20, 21, 22, and they're all of a sudden, they've gone viral on YouTube,
Mhm.
or they've gone viral in so many other things. And then the next thing we hear, they're totally broke
Mhm.
because
They
they didn't
never
know what
learn.
to do with it. Or like the people that win the lotteries. Wasn't the statistic that by 2 years they're in more debt than when
Mhm.
because they've lost all the money that they won from the lottery. People are not taught money principles.
Right.
So, and it's just such a shame. And just having that money blueprint. I know when I've taken the classes on what's my money thermostat,
Mhm.
ooh, my money thermostat was so low. I had no concept. And then just, you don't talk about making money. That's really hard to get past that mindset
Mhm.
that you don't talk about money. Well, you know what? Money is a tool. Money makes the
hmm
world go around. It's the love of money that makes it get bad.
Right.
But money itself is just a tool. So why don't learn how to use it properly? I think that's one of my things now. Learn how to use money properly, correctly, so that it benefits everybody. So that it is not such a risk, or, that's my soapbox for us.
Well, I would say putting your money in something that's going to compound would be using your money very wisely.
Mhm.
Would be using it wisely. Exactly. Take some of the profits from whatever you're doing and use a little bit of it.
And even the CEO of the company says, she said in a meeting that I was in, she said, take this money and use it for what you need right now. Use it to pay off debt. Use it for this. And, we're planning on being here 5, 10, 15 years, but I can't predict what's going to happen, in this space. And she's
Mhm.
very upfront about that. And she said, so, if you're making enough money to pay off a bill or to do what, or, go on that vacation that you've been wanting to do, or, help with college, do it. Take the money out and do it. That's what it's there for.
Right.
I've never heard any CEO say that
Yeah.
in this kind of world.
Right.
I
that's so
just
true.
never have heard that. And I was like, whoa. So,
And really, when you think about it, trading has been around. What? I think when did the stock market start? I mean, it crashed in 1929. So it's been like from the 1800s
mhm.
that there was the stock market. So, and back then they thought, oh, how can people, invest in stocks? Well, now it's just a new technology and a new,
Right.
so yeah, cool.
It's
Catherine,
also,
and this, yeah, go.
oh, I was just gonna say, because if people are listening, they're probably like where we're at right now. But like, how do people move forward? How do people contact you? That kind of
Yep.
thing.
I can, if y'all don't mind, I can put my my calendar in the
Put it
chat.
in the chat, yes,
Yeah,
and
put
we'll
it
add
in
it
the
to the
chat,
notes.
and then
Absolutely.
y'all can, and definitely if y'all book a call with me and we get on the phone, I'm going to say, who sent you to me. I always say that because there's some things that I've shared with my team that that some people might book on me, and I ask, if it's Barbara, then I'll give Barbara the credit, or whatever in my team. But this
Mhm.
way I'll know, and then I'll report back to you guys and let y'all know how many people have booked. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Awesome.
that'll be good.
So awesome. Catherine, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being flexible too at the time. I woke up today and was like, oh my God, I've got a horrible conflict. So thank you
That's
so much.
fine. That's fine.
Thank you so much
So,
for moving to the afternoon. We appreciate it. And
Yeah,
both you ladies have an
absolutely.
excellent rest of the day, and audience, go
absolutely.
out and make it a killer day, and take these everyday riches and plug them in to have a phenomenal week.
Yeah. And but you
Absolutely.
know
You
what?
should-
Just reissue about the book. Let's
Yes.
put the book
Show
in
the
there
book
again.
Oh yeah, the book.
Got the
Yeah,
book.
right next to me here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about to sign this copy and put it in my collaborative workspace bookshelf. So this
Yeah.
one's going
Yeah.
there for the entrepreneurs here.
Yeah. So it was an exciting venture. So anyways, everybody, thank you so much for listening. I would really appreciate it if you would share out this. If you liked what you hear today, number one, get in touch with Catherine Ann. But if you liked this episode, share it out. Give us,
Mhm.
give us some love. Let us know what you thought, what you liked, what you would like to hear more of, episodes that coming up. Jason and I are always open to having new guests. If you want to learn about something, hey, chances are one of us would like to learn about it too.
And
So
chances are we know somebody that can talk about it at an expert level. So
exactly. So have a great day, have a great week, and have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. And just enjoy the everyday riches that are in your life. Have a good one.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.